Let me tell you about Junior, okay? We're in meetings, and he's answering every single question. Just to have a young guy speak so confident, how he moves from sideline to sideline, him having the attention of his other 10 guys on the field, that's a Mike backer. I just saw a leader.
If you were to ask me who would be the biggest difference maker for the Chargers defense this year that was not on the team last year, I would probably say, well, that's a bit of a trick question because we had an addition by subtraction with Brandon Staley leaving. But if I had to choose a player, it would be Junior Colson. Even though Junior Colson is a 21-year-old rookie, he technically has the most experience in this defense, and he is also a perfect scheme fit in this defense. Let me tell you why Junior Colson is my favorite sleeper on this defense. Junior Colson provides the Chargers with something that they've been lacking at that linebacker position for a long time now, and that is a leader. But not just a leader in the same way that like Kenneth Murray was a leader on this team last year. He is a leader by example that goes out and plays sideline to sideline with speed and physicality, but also disciplined. And that discipline is something that has been lacking in this linebacker room, but also we saw it from other players on this defense, like specifically Joey Bosa, but also guys in the DB room because of how complex that scheme was. The Chargers, they were not a very smart defense last year, and that might be Junior Colson's best attribute. The Chargers have been a very bad pass defense for many years now, and a big reason for that is the lack of discipline against the pass over the middle of the field. Junior Colson has the physical tools in terms of like the speed and the hip fluidity to get depth in coverage quickly and guard guys in the intermediate and the short part of the field, the short middle and intermediate middle of the field. But he also has that closing speed and football intelligence to know when to break on a tight end's curl route, or something that Chargers fans are very familiar with, a running back that is coming out of the backfield, whether it be towards the sideline or towards the middle of the field. That is a big thing that Kenneth Murray and even Eric Kendricks last year were not very good at. So Junior Colson, he has that speed and the quickness to be able to do that. But if he can't put it in practice and diagnose when to commit to certain areas of the field, then, you know, that's basically kind of what Kenneth Murray was last year. I mean, that was his biggest issue. It doesn't matter how fast and strong the chicken is if his head is cut off, you know what I mean? But I don't think that is going to be something that Junior Colson struggles with in the NFL, because even though he is an amazing athlete, we all know he went to Michigan, was working with Ben Herbert for a long time, but his physical tools might even be second to his mental fortitude and his aptitude to be able to learn and diagnose what is happening on the field. This guy's an intelligent person, and we all know his story of being an orphan in Haiti, coming to America and not knowing any English, and then learning this whole new sport of football all at the same time from the ages of like 10 to 14 years old. He can handle a lot at once, and I honestly might make a whole video about like his life story, because I know I talk about it almost every single time that I mention him, but it's even better than you probably think. He's shown the ability to handle a lot at once, and he has done it in several different aspects of his life, including football. But not everybody cares about his background, okay? And I understand that. Whether you were an undrafted free agent or like a first-round pick, it doesn't matter how you got here. What matters is that you are here and you are competing for a job.
Everybody that got here earned it, worked for it, had to take whatever their life circumstances were and turn those into success. And that's all of our responsibility. Whatever hand you're dealt, I mean, whatever circumstances you have, I mean, it's your personal responsibility to take your circumstances and turn those into success. Yeah, congratulations, welcome. Competitors, welcome.
So while the underdog story is nice, all that matters is your current situation. And speaking of underdog, if you click my link in the description and use my code McLane, that is MACLANE, on your first time deposit, you will get a special pick'em and up to $250 in bonus cash. You can stock up for the NFL season if you're interested. This helps me out so much. Thank you guys if you use my code. But Junior Colson is going to help out this defense so much. And the main reason that I think he is going to hit the ground running in the NFL is because he's reunited with Jim Harbaugh, the man who recruited him to Michigan in the first place. But not only that, but the man who was responsible for the best defense in college football last year, Jesse Minter, who utilized Junior Colson as the leader of that defense. And finally, Ben Herbert, who was able to develop his physical tools and maximize his muscle growth while lessening his likelihood of injuries, or as Ben Herbert would like to say,
first goal is to make you harder to break.
So the man responsible for the scheme that he flourished in, as well as the man responsible for some of his athleticism, are both with the Chargers. And on top of that, the man responsible for creating that winning culture and that mindset, Jim Harbaugh. These guys are all here. This was the best environment for him to walk into as a third-round pick, and he has already turned heads at OTAs because, obviously he knows the defense better than anybody else at this point. There's even been talk of him wearing the green dot on that defense and communicating the plays to the rest of the players, which, Jim Harbaugh, he understandably doesn't want to give him that responsibility as a rookie. But before he was even drafted, that is something that Junior Colson brought up as wanting to take on in the NFL.
Everything I got, like my brain power, being able to handle a defense, be able to have that green dot. It's something, I'm excited that I've been able to talk to him about.
The writing is all on the wall for Junior Colson to become a great linebacker in the NFL. He has extreme athleticism. He has overcome obstacles in his life already. He's got a high mental aptitude, and he's not going to be hitting a rookie wall, hopefully, because he's basically playing like his fourth year at Michigan, but in the NFL, because everyone who was involved with coaching him in college is now on the Chargers. The only barrier to entry into the NFL from Michigan for Junior Colson is going to be like the guys around him being bigger and faster. So we'll see how he looks once those pads get on. But this looks to be a great third-round pick, man. Tom Telesco would never. And on the first day of OTAs, there was a little bit of an injury scare with Junior Colson because he did leave practice early with the trainers, but he wasn't limping or anything. I mean, I really hope that this is just kind of a precautionary thing, because I don't know what the odds are. I'm going to put up the odds right here for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Junior Colson probably doesn't have great odds. And if he stays healthy, I think he has like a legitimate shot and a pathway to becoming the Defensive Rookie of the Year, just because of all of these things that are going in his favor thus far. And he seems to be a very hard worker. And guys like that, they succeed in the NFL. He's also extremely tough too. So even if he is injured, there is a chance that he plays throughout this whole season with that injury, because he played last year at Michigan with a broken hand for about like 7 games. He broke his hand in the first half of one game. He got it all clubbed up, and then went out there, played the second half of that game, and then played the rest of the season with that broken hand. So he is definitely a tough guy as well, that is willing and able to play through an injury if he is injured, which we don't know right now. We just don't know. And if you didn't see my last video, I talked all about the safety position battle heading into training camp.